Hi, I'm Paris, and as the 23andMe weight loss intervention study that I'm participating in is coming to a close soon, I wanted to update you on how I'm doing on that and to tell you more about my planned climbing trip to the highest point in Texas, Guadalupe Peak, way over in West Texas, and the device I'm bringing along that may help me survive.
EpicReviewGuyz.
So the 23andMe study, I think we're at about week 10 now out of 12, so it'll be finishing up pretty soon. I did an update at 6 weeks, and let me tell you what's happened since then. The first 6 weeks I was pretty good at watching my diet and doing about every week the amount of exercise, vigorous and moderate exercise that they asked of me. And then after 6 weeks, stuff happened, as stuff does in life, and since I was still doing the exercising, I felt it wouldn't be too bad if I strayed a little from my diet and strayed a little bit further. So what happened was the first 6 weeks I lost about 5 pounds. In the following 3 weeks, I put about 4 of those pounds back on. Surprisingly and disappointingly easy to do. So what I've done this last week is I've gotten very strict with my diet. I haven't really changed it. I've just cut out all the garbage that I was eating in addition to what I'm supposed to be eating to have a healthy diet. And I've actually lost 3 pounds just in this week, which shows me, irregardless of what the 23andMe results end up showing about whether low carbohydrate, low fat, or more exercise is going to be more effective for losing weight. And from what I've seen before and can clearly see in this case, that the dietary approach really gives you the quick results. Now, the exercise helps with a lot of other things. It makes you more fit. It can help with blood sugar levels and so forth, irregardless of whether you lose any weight. So I'm not putting exercise down, but for me, it's just not enough. Now, I'm definitely more fit than I was. I know this from my experiences with the Stairmaster, as I mentioned in my previous video, the machine at the gym I was always afraid of. But now I'm on there every time I go to the gym. When I first started about 10 weeks ago, I could do about 300 steps, took about 10 minutes, and I was near death at the end of that. Now I can do over 700 steps in about 15 minutes, and I still have enough energy to go and do the rest of my workout routine afterwards. I had hoped to get to 1,000 steps in 20 minutes before doing this climb, but I don't think that's going to happen. The only way I could improve my fitness that much to be able to do that in one stretch would be to go twice a day. I'm just hoping I have enough endurance so that I can go in 15-minute segments all the way up to the top of this mountain. Next week is spring break here in Austin, Texas, and everybody's got their own plans for about half of the week, and then the other half will be doing some things together as a family. But mine is the mountain climbing, and unfortunately I couldn't convince anyone to go with me, so it's mountain climbing party of one. It's kind of funny, in the news yesterday there was a story about a kid climbing with his grandfather in Colorado, and I don't think it was too big of a mountain, but the grandfather slipped and fell, and there were these NFL players, 2 brothers, who helped to rescue him. And when they showed the story about the kid trying to save the grandfather and to get to him to help him and so forth, everybody in the room just looked at me. Maybe I should bring our dog Pierre along, but I have a feeling with him pulling along the windy ledges that could end up being more of a hindrance than a help. But something that will help me. A company very kindly sent this to me to help ensure my safe return from climbing Guadalupe Peak. Thanks to Evo Crest for these very nice carbon fiber trekking poles. Quite a step up from what I usually do, which is to pick up a stick along the trail if I feel like I need some extra help. Looking forward to breaking these in and returning to do a follow-up video and tell you all about them. The main body is 100% carbon fiber. The grips are cork, very nice. They got the straps. They've got different tips that go on the bottom depending on what kind of surface you're trekking on. They've got baskets for snow and mud. It's the whole deal here. I suspect I'll need them more coming down the mountain than going up. It's a 3,000 foot elevation gain. It's about 6 to 8 hours, 8 hours round trip. And I've climbed Mount Fuji in Japan, which is taller. Guadalupe Peak is only 8,700 feet, so there shouldn't be too much issue with thin air. During my 6 years in Japan, I climbed Mount Fuji 4 times. I took students with me during each summer vacation, and we climbed up to the top. They have a saying, though, in Japan: he who climbs Mount Fuji once is wise. He who climbs Mount Fuji more than once is a fool. It is a lot of work, but I went back each year because I wanted to bring my students and give them the experience of climbing. I think it was more like 5,000 feet elevation gain, but what we did is we climbed at night. We started at 10:30 at night, and the idea is you're at the very top at the shrine up at the top of the mountain at 12,000 feet to see the sunrise. Climbing Mount Fuji wasn't that hard. It was just more endurance, take 6 or 7 hours. There were 90-year-olds climbing, young children with their families. And so going to the top wasn't hard, but going down, I don't know how my knees survived that. And that was when I was 30. So I'm thinking these are what's going to get me down Guadalupe Peak. So I'll get video of these trekking poles during and after my climbing trip. You can find out more about them right now, though, at the link down below this video. Well, I guess I should get started putting together my playlist for the 6-hour drive there and the 6-hour drive back. If you have any suggestions, song suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below this video. I'll see you on the next review.
Shopping is easy when you know what to buy. At EpicReviewGuyz, we give it a try. What does the fox buy? Nobody knows, but before he goes shopping, he watches our